Welcome to our special session for our UDA 2.1, which is entitled Comparative, short about countries, or this is our product that we will present, part of our learning outcomes, and I'm your instructor, Joey Walker. So, what are we going to do in this session? In this session, we will practice comparative adjectives. We're going to work with past tense of the verb to be. Also, you can use present, but our main focus is past. And in this session, we will make a comparative short of two countries and sentences. Okay, so first, we have the comparative adjectives. There's a rule for this. For one syllable adjectives, we use the ending er, er, All right. For example, long, longer, tall, taller, straight, straighter, large, larger, big, bigger, double G, hot, hotter, double T. Then for two syllable adjectives that end with a Y, we change the Y and put I. Happy becomes happier, crazy, crazier, noisy, noisier. Okay? If it's not ending with a Y, we say honest, famous, more famous. And that would be for three or more syllables. Whenever we have a three or more syllable adjective, in, for example, interesting, more interesting, famous, more famous, and exciting, more exciting. Remember, this is the comparative adjective. If we want to make it into a sentence, you have to add than. For example, longer than. This bridge is longer than the other bridge. My friend is taller than me. Your Coke is larger than mine. Today was today is harder than yesterday, for example. We have to use than. Okay? We already know this, but if you want to make comparatives in the present simple, you can use the verb to be in affirmative, which is I am, you are, he, she, it is, we are, you are, and they are for plural. Negative, we use am not. Contraction is not possible, aimed. Are not. Contraction aren't. Is not. Contraction isn't. Okay, for example, I am not sad. She is in a pilot. Whenever we use the plurals, it's the same. We are early. You are students. We are in late. They are noisy. We use these contractions. In affirmative, we use they are happy. For questions, we switch it. We say, are they happy? She is rich. We say, is she rich? It's the same rule for the past tense. We just substitute am and is for was and are for were, and it's exactly the same. So we just substitute it, and that's it. Okay. So how are we going to make the sentences first? Whenever we want to compare countries, there's two options. Once you select two countries, and you have to research and present research, and then you can use a present and a past in the same, or you can make comparisons like the following of two different countries. For example, when you compare the same country using present and past and a comparative, you can say in the 80s, Russia was larger in territory than now. Check, we're using then, large, larger. We say in the 80s, Russia was larger in territory than now. We're comparing Russia before to Russia now. You can say a specific time frame in the 80s, in 2000, in 1995, and now, or today. You can use today, now, or back then in the 70s. And those are the words that we can use to compare one country in the past with now. If we want to compare two countries, we can use either present or past. For example, you can say comparing Italy and Spain. So Italy is more affected by the coronavirus than Spain. Okay, so we say is more affected. We're using affected, more affected than Spain, right? By the coronavirus. true one. And so this seems difficult, right? Or that's what some people think. So let's go and how to prepare and do this section. So whenever we are doing this, it's easier if we make a chart. And this is our product for this session, right? So this chart will include country one, country two, and the adjective that you're going to use. For example, if you use two countries in Mexico, the US, adjective big. I use big, comparative, become bigger than, so we make the sentence. The US is bigger than Mexico. Okay? If we want to make a sentence in which we compare a country with itself in the present or in the past, select country, use the adjective good, and then we see the comparative with the past and now. For example, Brazil had better soccer players in the 90s than now. Had better soccer players. Better than now. Soccer players were better than now in the 90s. Example that we saw before, Spain and Italy. Adjective affected. Italy was more affected by the coronavirus than Spain. So we have more affected, adjective with more, and then to put the other noun. This is was, so we can use it in past or in present. Italy and France. Adjective popular, we can use France is more popular to travel than Italy. More popular than Italy. In what instance? To travel. The Eiffel Tower and things like that. So this is how you're going to structure it. Country one, country two, or one country. Compare it in the past with the present. You can use this in present is, in the past had if it's a verb, was, and is. And that's the chart that you're going to make. So that will be all for now for the sessions. Have fun. Take care. I'll see you here in the next video. Goodbye. Yeah, me.